Elsa, and this is the new gastro series of the University of Pannonia. We are very happy to present you this new project called Taste of Pannonia, where we invite international students to make their traditional meals. We have a special guest today. Can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm the odd one out. I'm not international and I'm not a student. My name is Szilárd Szentgyörgyi and I work for the University of Pannonia. To be absolutely precise, I'm the head of the English and American Studies Institute, and I was invited as the Hungarian guest on the show.
Thank you. And can you tell us what we're making today and what ingredients we need?
What I thought of preparing is a special Hungarian and also, we could say, Hungarian/Slovakian type of food. And it has many names. It goes by lots of different names in different parts of the country. In this area it's mostly known as Tócsi, but it's also known as Tócsi and also as Berit and Tcsi and Lopcsanka and lots of other names for the language enthusiasts. This is, if you want to compare it to something, it would be like a mix of hash browns in the American culture or Anglo-Saxon culture and pancakes. It's a potato-based meal. We will need a couple of potatoes. We are going to grate them. That's why we have the grater. We are going to use the big holes on the grater. And we need 1 egg, and we need just 4 spoonfuls of all-purpose flour, a little bit of salt, a little bit of ground black pepper, and then basically we are going to just put it in hot oil, and when we are finished with frying it, deep frying it, then you can put on lots of types of seasoning. Like in this area it's mostly eaten with sour cream, but if you like sweet dishes, then you can try it with apricot jam as well. So that's the plan. Can we get started?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what's the first step?
Well, the first step is getting the potatoes and peeling them. And after peeling them, we are going to grate them, as I already mentioned. Okay, so we'll need the peelers for that. We're going to start with the tiny one. Oops, careful with the egg so that we don't break that. And we'll just start. Can
you tell us a little bit about Hungarian culture? Why is it so unique?
I think we tend to think it's unique. It is unique because I think it's an interesting mixture of many different parts of lots of different cultures. What makes it really unique, I think, is the language. That it's really like an island. We are surrounded by many different types of languages: Slavic languages, Germanic languages, Romance languages, if you think of Romanian, for example, and all these cultures added quite a lot of things to Hungarian culture as well throughout history. So I think what makes it really, really nice and really powerful is that it's unique, even though that it shares lots of things with the neighboring cultures. Another thing that I think is important. Is important for Hungarian culture is that even though it is isolated because of its language from the neighboring countries, there's a tradition of transmitting Hungarian culture to other countries. Like most of the famous Hungarian writers have been translated into German, into English, into French, and as a result of this, the whole world was able to learn about Hungarian authors, Hungarian film directors, Hungarian actresses and actors, musicians and so on and so forth.
And what do you think about Veszprém? How do you like it?
Well, actually, I was born here. That's the first thing. So I'm absolutely local, and I went to high school here. Later on, I did my university in other cities in Hungary and abroad. But then I came back to work for the university. I really love the town. I think it's a nice place in the sense that it has basically almost everything that you would need in a town. But it's not too big, so it's not difficult to get around. international students find it really interesting and really easy to find their way because it's very simple to get from one place to another. And I would hate living in a large metropolitan area where you would have to spend a lot of your time commuting from your home to work and then to pick up your kids, and basically you would spend hours every day doing that, and that's not very nice.
Yeah, and how much do you think the university can profit from being the European Capital of Culture this year?
Oh, I think it's a lot, because a lot of people identify Veszprém with the University of Pannonia and the University of Pannonia with Veszprém. So basically the two are very closely tied in, and as a result of this, we are in it together. There are lots of programs that the university does for the European Capital of Culture series of events. Our faculty does programs as well. I participated in one of those in person with a colleague.
Which one?
And that was, well, we did, it was with Professor Andrea Parapatic, and we did like a discussion event in one of the bars, coffee places, where we invited Hungarian actors, actresses to talk about how they find working in the dubbing industry. So when you have a Netflix series comes to Hungary, they have to do the Hungarian dubbed version because Hungarians like their films dubbed, and so we discussed that, and that was a big success. Of course, there were very, very famous and very popular actors participating, so there was a lot of people.
Now that we are waiting, can you tell us what advice you would give to newcomers
to Veszprém at the university?
Yeah.
Well, I always tell students, not just international students, but also Hungarian students, that the most important thing is when you want to get integrated into a new place is to ask questions. Okay, ask the locals questions, ask your fellow students questions, ask your professor questions, and ask your questions in time before something bad happens. Before there's a test, before you have to do something in town, ask for directions. Ask where you can do stuff. That's the most important thing. And I think you will find that people are surprisingly helpful. Especially, and that's an important piece of advice for international students, especially if you are making an effort of learning Hungarian, some Hungarian. Okay, so if you learn the basic words, the basic expressions to ask for help, then they really, really appreciate your effort. Absolutely. And then we can take the next step, which is basically getting the oil, putting it in the frying pan, and then starting frying the stuff.
So we have a sweet one with jam and sour
Absolutely.
cream one, and which one do you prefer?
I actually like the more traditional, the one with the sour cream, but because I have a sweet tooth, I also go for the apricot jam one.
I have never had anything.
You never had that? Okay, at least we learned something new today.
Alright, so let's taste it.
Let's taste it. Still works pretty nicely. Yeah. It's been great.
Yeah.
Okay for you too?
I prefer this one.
No, you do?
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you all for joining us today. It was a very special treat for me as well. Thank you very much, and hope to see you around.
Thank you for joining us for this season.